people are poor, people are hungry, people are losing no jobs. Like everyone needs something to laugh about. So like you always gotta like there's always they say there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So you always have to just keep pushing forward and never give up.
I always say this to people: strive to be the most successful person. Don't be a plain person.
Yeah.
Be something.
I don't go downstairs until I make the bed, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, and I look ready to go.
I'm going to hit him with the left hook, and then he's going to fall, and then he's going to drop, and then I'm going to do this. I mean, he's just literally like reading to him verbatim everything he was going to do that day of the fight. Everything that he said before the fight actually happened.
Like when you first start doing comedy, it's not easy at all. You need to take all these L's in order to get the big win. And the win is so much sweeter. Now I'm selling out shows all over the country.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today's episode was with Jack Jr., a comedian who has sold out Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. He's known worldwide. Incredibly kind, genuine, authentic, loving father, human, and comedian. We had a conversation today, and it was very meaningful. We talked about comedy. I had a few comedians on the show, but obviously everyone's experience is different. And we talked a lot about his personal life story, about drugs, alcohol, depression, this sadness that he overcame. And comedy genuinely helped him overcome these struggles. And it was really interesting to hear his story. We talked a little bit about the fashion industry and why we're failing and what's going on, why our health is failing, why we're failing overall as human beings, what's really happening. And it was really interesting to see his comments about COVID and how COVID can be responsible for all of this. We dived about his fatherhood, and it was so meaningful to hear how important fatherhood is for him. It's so amazing to see good fathers like this that hold incredible purpose, and his modeling wonderful behavior so that his children could also learn. And it was just overall a very genuine conversation. It's a very personal podcast today, and I really wanted to have him on the show so we can see this other side. And he really eloquently portrayed that other side of him very well. I hope you guys enjoy today's podcast. I certainly learned a lot, and I think sometimes it's not really about the education of what's written in books. Sometimes you hear people's stories and you learn a lot because they're very relatable. And it was really wonderful to see this relatable side. And I genuinely did learn a lot from him. What I appreciate most about him is his genuine side. And he talks about his kindness. And I really do want you guys to see this because I do kind of mention to him, like, you know, being so famous, how is he able to be so kind and be so relatable and talk to everyone? And his answers were so nice. And I think you guys are really going to find this podcast very warm. It's not as serious as the other ones. It's just very light. And he does crack a few jokes that made me smile. And there's a lot of laughter. So I don't want to keep you too long from this beautiful show. I hope you enjoy today's episode with Jack Jr. All right. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We just did this earlier, by the way.
Yeah.
This is
like awkward.
For the camera.
It's for the show.
Yeah.
So it's so nice having you, though, by the way.
Thank
You're
you for
such
having
a lighthearted person
Yeah.
to be around. You're not like
All like
serious.
former guests.
No,
I'm kidding. I don't know who you have on the podcast.
They're all been good. But you know how like sometimes you're around people that make you feel really like heavy, like you can't really be yourself.
100%.
I feel like I could be myself
Be
around
yourself,
you.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Are you like that with your husband?
Be myself? Yeah.
That's amazing. There you go. I was worried you weren't.
Do I give off that vibe?
No. You're a very happy person.
Yeah, I am.
Really happy. I felt the energy as soon as I walked in. Your camera crew, though, not so much. How you doing?
Oh my God, you're so funny. So, anywho, let's get started, you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have an introduction in the beginning, so I don't have to introduce you and all that great stuff. Not that you need an introduction.
Are you gonna edit this later?
No.
Oh, okay, I love that.
Everything is just
raw and uncut.
and whatever we say, we
Yes.
say.
Let's go.
Beautiful, meaningful.
100%.
again, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
I
too.
love your work.
Thank you.
Can you tell me how did this all start?
But she hasn't been to one of my
I'm
shows.
going tonight.
She loves my on both cameras. She says she loves my work, but she's never been to a show. So how much does she really love me?
I love your
She doesn't.
Instagram.
The Instagram. Okay, cool.
But I am going tonight because you're getting me tickets.
I'll get you tickets tonight.
You promise you're not going to make fun of me.
I promise I will make fun of you. I won't.
Oh my God, we have to be ready for this.
Let's go.
But anywho, I want to understand, how did you get into comedy?
Okay, it's a long story.
Tell me.
It's pretty crazy. So like my parents own a comedy club down the street called the Haha Comedy Club.
No way.
Yeah, so I grew up in the business, but when I was 18 years old, like you don't want to do what your parents do. You don't want to be, you want to do your own thing, So I was very good at selling cell phones. During I was selling T-Mobile. I was like really good. I'm trilingual. I'm Armenian and Mexican, so I speak 3 languages. I'm doing sales. I'm killing it. I end up opening my own cell phone store. I'm living this like crazy life. I have 2 businesses in the Galleria. I'm 24 years old. I'm making 6 figures, working in the mall. It's crazy.
How old are you now?
I'm 30. I just turned 39.
Wow, we're the same age.
Yeah.
So you're 24, entrepreneur.
I'm crushing it. I get married. I have a kid. And then just somewhere like a year later, it wasn't working out. Me and her, it was a very toxic relationship. She and I, we broke up and we got a divorce. And I went to work one day. I came home and she was completely gone and took my newborn son with me and was just disappeared for like.
You didn't know where he was?
1 year.
She was.
Yeah, I didn't know where she was or my son for a year. I hired a private investigator that did that. I started doing drugs, alcohol. I was really depressed. I was almost like suicidal, like you could say. I was it was pretty dark. And I went and asked my parents for money for therapy. I said, I really need therapy. I'm thinking about, hurting myself. And then my dad goes, you know how expensive therapy is? He goes, come to the club, go on stage and cry. So
You're kidding. Really? He said that?
I started doing stand-up comedy. This was 15 years ago. And it's a crazy story. I ended up becoming a career, and now I have my own family. Now I have a beautiful blended family. I have 5 kids, and I've never been happier right now. I'm touring. I'm traveling all over the world, performing like all over the U.S. I performed in Dubai, London, Paris. So it's been amazing.
How did you overcome that difficulty? Yes, comedy helped.
Yeah.
But how did you motivate yourself to get on? That takes a lot.
Comedy comes from a dark place. So
even for you?
For everybody.
For all comedians,
all
you would
good
say?
comedians.
All great comedians.
All great comedians.
Even Dave Chappelle?
100%. All of them. They all have a dark sadness, or they need to get stuff off their chest. Like if you talk about, like, no one ever watches a comedy show and go, oh my God, that guy's really happy. It's more like you're complaining about everything. Like when my stand-up comedy you watch, I complain about my ex-wife, my kids, being Armenian, being Mexican, being this, being that. It's just, it all comes from like complaining. My wife always goes, now you're always complaining. I go, if I had nothing to complain about, I had nothing to talk about. Like that's it. Yeah, no one's up there like, hey, I have a Porsche. Is that funny? No.
Exactly.
I have a big house.
Exactly.
It's always like, I don't have a house. I lost my house. So.
But how do you turn that into something so like laughable? It's such a tragic story.
Because it's relatable, and people all over the world, unfortunately, are a lot of people aren't happy out there, and so and it's like people are poor, people are hungry, people are losing no jobs, like everyone needs something to laugh about. So like you always gotta there's always, they say there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So you always have to just keep pushing forward and never give up. And I'm happy. I almost quit comedy so many times because I was like, dude, it's 10 years. Nothing's really happening. I'm not really making a lot of money. I'm check to check. I'm still broke. I'm credit card debt. But I fought through it. And it's been great right now. And I'm so happy I kept at it. That's one thing I'm very proud of.
Is this industry difficult?
Oh, it's very difficult. I remember when I first started comedy, like the group of guys that I first started with, like maybe 1 or 2 are doing this as a career now. A lot of them just went back to their 9 to 5.
What's so difficult about it? Is it the competitiveness or something else?
I mean, just it's really hard to uh when a comedian like is really vulnerable. We talk like that's how you know you're good when you start talking about personal stuff and you really like a lot of
Yeah.
comics talk about a lot of general stuff. Oh, Asians bad drivers, blah 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 blah. Those are really hacky
Yes.
general jokes. That's not gonna get you to the next level. It might get you a few dollars at a show, but it's not gonna get you to the next level. So a lot of people I think are afraid to kind of just let loose and kind of just let it all out. It's
Yeah.
very competitive. There's a lot of people in the industry, and the thing is with comedy, it's not even just comedy. I also write scripts.
Yes.
I'm trying to sell a TV show right now about my life, about being Armenian and Mexican. I wrote a reality show, like a cartoon. It just leads to acting and to more things. Like that's what I want to do. I want to be like if I had to compare my career to someone right now, like maybe like a Seth Rogen. He's an
Really?
actor, he's a
Hmm.
producer, he's a writer.
Does
Does
everything.
everything. I think he has a family, but yeah, that's my
How do you
goal.
come up with the ideas of what to write about?
I live it. I don't
So personal.
100%. I've tried to sit down in a room and with other comedians and write jokes. It's impossible. The way I write, I walk around the Americana, I walk around Burbank, I go to the mall, I'll take my family out, I'll go visit my ex-wife and hang out with her family, and I just see stuff and it just clicks. Like I'm gonna talk about this today for sure. It's very it's very
Armenian?
Armenian in here.
What's Armenian in
It's
here?
he's Armenian, you're Armenian. The
You're
cameras, you're wearing black. The walls are black. The cameras are black.
auntie call this place Yotu Karsung, which means like, after death.
Oh,
When
really?
they go visit like, the grave again. And
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
oh my God, why is it because it's that dark?
It's pretty dark in it. Did you paint the walls black?
My father-in-law did.
Oh, he's Armenian.
Yes, it's Armenian. So tell me a little bit about the blended family life.
Blended family
Because
life.
that's challenging.
It is pretty
It's
challenging.
challenging.
It's
How is
super
that going?
challenging. So the short version is, I dated. What's that? There's no short version. It's pretty long. So
Just go for it.
my high school sweetheart, she's one with now. So we were together like right after high school,
Ooh,
and we dated for like 4 or 5 years, and then we broke up and got back together 9 years later.
If it's meant to be, it's
And
meant
then
to
we
be.
started. We had our own. So she had a family, and I had a family. We
Yeah.
got together, and then we had 2 kids together recently.
Yeah.
So that's how it's a blended family. But I love it. I love one thing I love about. I've always wanted that Full House life, the show Full
Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a lot of people over. I love it. I know I complain about it a lot, but I love it, and I just like people around. I love it. It's awesome.
It is.
Being a father is probably one of the best gifts. Seeing your kids grow up and watch their struggles and give them advice, and being able to do stuff for them that maybe weren't done for me, or just like I love watching them grow up. It's just great.
How would you describe yourself as a father?
Very silly, not your normal father. I'm always joking. I am very strict though too. I'm very strict because of my past, of the dark side, like of the
Mhm.
drugs and the alcohol and all that. I've seen it firsthand. So I'm trying to protect my kids and keep them away from that stuff. So I am more strict than my wife. But like there's no middle. It's either I'm really strict or I'm really playful.
What do you mean you're strict on your wife?
No, I'm more than my wife.
More than your wife. Oh, I'm just like, oh,
no,
let
no,
me
no.
hear this.
No. That's Armenian. That's you. No.
Way to throw
I'm
it on
I'm
me.
not strict. I'm not strict. My wife.
Me with your kids.
My
you
wife
are.
is she gets.
Is she Armenian?
No, my wife's Filipino Portuguese.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I tried dating Armenian, but we can't because
Why?
hair on hair causes fire.
It does cause.
It's too much hair. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ew.
But yeah.
Got a visual. He's like, okay, so Filipino and what?
Portuguese.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you go to school out here?
What a switch.
We're having a conversation, right?
Yeah, I went to Burbank High.
Oh, no way.
I went to Burbank High. Yeah, Burbank schools.
Also, you're born and raised in Burbank.
Born in Armenia,
Oh, okay.
raised in Armenia.
Wow.
Somewhat. I mean, I was 11 when I came here
Got it.
and then went to schools in Burbank. But my time was so different. I'm turning 40.
Wow.
My time was so different. I mean, you know, school was so different back in
Yeah.
the day. It's just crazy now.
Well, I have a similar story. I
You do?
wasn't born in Armenia. I was born in Glendale, so it was close.
Armenia.
And I went to school, public and private. Public, and then I went to a private Armenian school.
What private?
I went to Pilibos. Alex Pilibos.
Really?
I
Like, did
went-
you graduate from there? Or just
No,
for a little bit?
I went there from 3rd to 8th grade. I left in my senior year.
Why?
No, I left my freshman year of
Freshman
high
year.
school.
Why?
It was a weird time back then. I was really a lot more Mexican growing up. Not by choice. It was more my Mexican family was closer.
Mm-hmm.
My Armenian family was in
Who's Mexican for
my
you?
mom.
Dad's Armenian?
Dad's Armenian, Lebanese Armenian. So all my family was in Beirut or Armenia.
Wow.
So I never really got to see them growing up, you know?
Yeah.
So I grew up more. My Mexican grandmother raised me, and we spoke Spanish all the time. So my dad took me to private school to learn Armenian, which I learned it. But back then, I want to say, you could say bullied, I guess. I was picked on. I was treated a little differently because I was half Mexican. You know, imagine going to a school and everyone's Armenian.
Yeah. I could
So
imagine
and I
that.
stood out like a sore thumb, you know.
Mhm.
So
Did you have hair like that?
no, I had short hair. I was really skinny, and yeah, I got bigger. but it was just it wasn't like it's just something that didn't click going there. Like it was. I look back and I had some great times there, yeah. But when I went to a public school, I was like, oh my god, look, there's black people. Like,
Yeah.
there's different people. Like
There's
I felt like
different
you were
people.
so sheltered at a private Armenian school.
Do
you
your
know?
kids go to private?
No, they go to public.
Are you
Yeah.
happy?
That they go to public. You know what's funny? Yeah, I like right now with my 2 little ones, I kind of want to put them in a private Armenian school.
You do?
I kind of want to
Why? Why that kind of?
because it just when I was a kid there, like I felt like when I went there, it was different because I went in there like 4th grade. Everyone already grew up together, you know. I feel like I want my kids to learn Armenian, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
a
feel like if they go
language, why
there,
not?
if they go there as babies, they'll learn the language, and I can pull them out, you know, like in 4th, 5th grade, and then go to a public school.
Yeah.
So that's a conversation that I have to have with my wife. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but right
Yeah.
now, I want my kids to learn as many languages as possible. I think having that capability to be like speak multiple languages is huge. It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to lose that.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? My
That's
my
true.
Armenian kind of went away for a while. Like I forgot it almost
Can you speak
because
it?
I didn't practice it. I can sometimes. It depends on the.
Do you have an
uh,
accent?
I have an accent sometimes. Like I have a like. You know what's funny? Because I hang around with so many different Armenians,
Yeah.
and they'll rub off on me. Like, and I'll be oh pareva on OTM or like
Uh-huh.
and then they're like oh it is and oh so what's this?
So what's
And it's just like
yeah.
so it's just it's funny because the Armenian language is so hard because there's so many different dialects, you know.
It's true.
So I forget it, but then it comes back, and then it's with stand up, it's brought it back together. So it's kind of cool.
You know, it's interesting. You talk so passionately about your family.
Yeah,
Like I could see that they're very meaningful for you. Think about that. Like I always want to ask questions that kind of like hit the core because it's important. Then it's more relatable and people
Yeah.
kind of understand where you're coming from because people see this Jack, right? Funny,
yeah.
wonderful, bubbly, but to be on a more personable side, I want to ask this, like where would life take you if you lost it all?
Lost what? My family?
Mhm.
Like be a single dad, and my wife divorces me.
Mhm.
It'd
Yeah,
prob-
like lost them.
it'd be terrible.
Terrible, yes.
It would be the worst thing in the world. I need my family. My kids are
Why do you need them?
they're my fuel. They make me want to wake up every morning and
Right?
be successful and be great because now that my kids are older, they're watching me. You know, they see how much of a hustler I am. Like I'm always working. You know, I need to do this and do that. I set goals. I have vision boards. I read books. I do that. And if I didn't have them watching me, what's the point? Like, what am I working so hard for? I lived both lives before. I
Mhm.
was a divorced guy. I lost it all. Man, with my ex-wife, with my baby mama and my first son, I lost them, and I, that was the worst feeling in the world. Right away I turned to substance abuse, alcohol, nightlife, thinking, and I was masking it. I was like, "Oh, I'm having fun. I'm having Vegas." But
You trying
deep
to like
down,
forget the pain?
I was hurting inside. So I couldn't imagine a world without my family or my kids.
What about comedy?
Give up comedy? I couldn't give up comedy ever.
What would you do if you had to?
What would I do? I mean, I
What
would
what
never.
other jobs would you want to do?
I mean, I'm trilingual. I mean, I'm. You know what's funny? I actually get text messages still to this day, like, "Oh, we found your resume on this. You're trilingual in sales." I mean,
Really?
I could always do something. I mean,
It just wouldn't be meaningful, huh?
yeah, I forgot how to have a 9 to 5. Like I can't do that. I'm always working. Like DJ Khaled said, I work all shifts. Another
Seriously.
one.
It is like that.
Yeah, like I don't. I work all day long, so I would probably open a business or I don't know.
What's the most difficult part of being in comedy?
Traveling, being alone away from my family. It's
Wow.
sad.
Traveling,
Yeah, imagine
being
like
away
you fly to a city. I'll give you an example. Like I'm going to Toronto soon. I'm going to Toronto for 4 days.
by yourself.
I'll take my camera crew with me,
Yeah.
but that's
But your
you're by
family's
yourself.
not.
But my family's not coming. So I fly there. What is it, like 4 or 5 hour, 6 hour flight, whatever.
Hmm.
I get there. I get to my hotel. I'm in my hotel all day long. I wait. I'm there
Yeah.
bored watching Shark Tank, Law and Order, Family Feud,
Suits.
and then I go to the show. Then I go to the show, do the show, go eat, go back to sleep, do it again. Imagine it's so boring,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Oh my god, you're living like a rock star life." I go, "Huh." That it just gets old after a while, like it's fun though sometimes because I get to bring like some gigs I'll sacrifice the money and I'll just bring my whole family with me. Like last year I took my kids to New York, New Jersey, Boston, and Rhode Island. I took them to the whole thing. Did I make
Wow.
money? Yeah, but all the money went back into the family for just pay for hotels and everything. So it was a break even, but we built a lot of memories, which is worth more than
More
anything.
than anything.
Yeah, like we're planning a trip this year. I'm taking them all to Hawaii. So I'm able to do these things now because of my sacrifice I did it for 15 years of getting booed on stage, booed off stage.
Were you ever?
Oh yeah, booed.
How
I
was
I got
that?
cried after so like, oh my god, everyone hates me. Like when you first start doing comedy, it's not easy at all. You need to take all these L's in order to get the big win, and the win is so much sweeter. Now I'm selling out shows all over the country. I just came
Thank
back from
God.
Chicago. We sold that out. Last year I did 32 cities. I think 29 of them were all sold out. So it's been I've been so blessed, and I'm all about giving back. So I always take new openers with me and I put people on, and um, you know, I think that's what this business. I think that's what this world needs. A lot of people need to start helping each other more out. Like I've always looked out for all my friends. So yeah,
How do you think that we're failing each other now?
I think a lot of people are fake right now, and people will pretend to be your friend. I'm just talking about me personally.
Please. This is
People
about you.
Oh yeah, I'm just
It's
saying
your
like
day.
people pretend to be your friends as long as you're underneath them. And once you start taking off, then
What?
they
Have you
just
noticed that?
100%.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, they go like, "Oh, Jack's only doing that because of this," or he's just, those aren't his real followers. Those are paid. Those are bots. Those are robots. Like I just hear so many people talking, and it's cute because uh, I used to let it bother me, and it would bother me so
Of
much,
course
and I
it
would try to
would.
like, why are you so mad at me? Like now, I don't have time to sit back and like I saw a video on Instagram. I forgot who said it, but they said that like you're like I'm a rocket, right? I'm going up, and then your friends are those boosters, right?
Yeah.
But your boosters fall off eventually, and the
Yes.
rocket keeps going up. So
Yes,
the
I've
reason why
seen
they fall
that.
off is because they're not.
Purpose.
Yeah,
They don't serve a purpose
yeah,
anymore, right?
totally. Like they're not ready to go where you're going. So it's like I feel like everyone comes in your life for a reason and they leave for a reason. And the people that are still around you are your real friends. Like Ada Zeta,
Yeah.
him and his dad were my dad and his dad were best friends So we grew up together.
Wow, two
His
successful
Yeah.
best
So
friends.
his dad passed away, and he went to live with his mom,
Yeah.
and I didn't. I never saw him. There was no MySpace. There's nothing back then. We were
Mhm.
kids.
Mhm.
So crazy how this all happened. His wife Dee took him to a comedy show, and he walked to the Haha Comedy Club, and he goes, "Oh my god, I know this place." And then he picked up his phone and he searched me on Instagram. He goes, "Oh my god, Jack is a comedian now." And then he messaged me. I happened to be in Dallas about to perform, and Ada messaged me, and he goes, "Yo, what up?" I go, and I looked at the picture. I go, "No way, I haven't seen him since we're like 14." And I was like, I'm about to go on stage. I go, hold on. I was like, give me 1 second. And we're texting back and forth, and we just became like, this happened like 2 years ago, and we became best friends again, like that, because I chose this comedy lifestyle. Imagine if I didn't do comedy, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy how people come and go in your life, and everything there's a purpose.
Do you agree that they say success is the loneliest pursuit?
Yeah,
That's
100.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You lose so many people in your life.
so many people. It's like but that's why it's good to keep
It's supposed to be
family.
the opposite.
Yeah. But then again, like it's all. I even do a joke about this. Like I said, like like I remember I just bought a house. I
Congrats.
bought a house, and I remember when I bought my house, I was looking back at all my friends that I was like, I want to invite them to my house, but then I'm like, they already started changing, like because I started changing. Like there's certain people that want you to fail, and I didn't want that energy in my house, so I
Do you
didn't.
believe in that energy?
100%. I think I believe in energy 100%. I believe in manifesting. I believe speaking to existence. That's what people say.
That's why
Oh,
you have a vision board.
yeah. People
I
say
heard you say
people
that.
say like, oh, why doesn't this happen to me?
Mhm.
People that are negative, and then you're
Mhm.
always gonna be negative, you know.
Mhm.
But people that are talking like like today, yesterday I said I'm gonna sell at the Alex Theater in Glendale. I did it already with Antique. We all did Armenian Kings of Comedy,
I
but I
know.
said, you know what? I can sell it out by myself,
Yes,
and
you can, Jack.
it's already happening. We're gonna book a date there, and it's gonna happen later this year.
Did you hear that, you
Yeah,
guys?
my agent's working on it right now, and then I also a new goal of mine too was
I'm
I
so
I
honored
want
that you're here.
to sell
Wow.
out the Venetian or the Wynn in Vegas,
You
and
will.
I'm already talking to them right now. My agent's working on it. It's just a lot of just speak everything to existence. I'm gonna live a long, healthy life.
100%. 100.
You,
Universe
everyone,
hears
yeah,
you. There's
everything.
this really cool thing that I was watching. It was an interviewer who was asking Conor McGregor a
Mhm,
question. And
mhm.
this guy was just literally repeating every single thing he said before the fight. I'm going to hit him with the left hook, and then he's going to fall, and then he's going to drop, and then I'm going to do this. I mean, he's just literally like reading to him verbatim everything he was going to do that day of the fight.
Yeah,
And everything that he said before the fight
happened.
actually happened. And this journalist was like, Mr. McGregor, how did you know? And he's like, you just say it, man. Just say it. Like the universe hears you. And it's
Yeah,
so powerful. Like
super powerful.
people really need to understand, like, even like the words of a parent,
Uh
like
huh.
whatever you say to your kid,
Yeah,
just be mindful, like be careful. The universe hears and everything comes true.
yeah.
I
Uh,
solely believe in that. Like,
what do you think? What do you think prayer is?
yeah. Do
When
you
you
believe in
pray,
God?
yeah, I believe in God. I believe, but I'm
Did you
saying
always believe in God?
always. I went to Armenian school. They put it down our throat.
But do you genuinely feel like close to your religion,
I
Christianity? I mean, are you Catholic? Are you
I'm
Christian?
Christian. So you know what's
Christian.
funny? I'm Christian Orthodox,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
was raised Catholic because my mom's Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's very similar.
It is.
And
It is.
I unfortunately I haven't gone to church like I wanted to. I mean, for a while when I was in my dark phase, I went to Christian church, the one with the band. I'm talking about the white
Yeah.
people. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for a little bit. But then
That's not Orthodox. I
no,
know
no,
that for
it's the
sure.
yeah. I noticed that I could pray anywhere, and
Yes.
I just feel like manifesting and speaking to existence and praying. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Like I just feel like it's it's like putting the words out there. Like it's just like like
I'm really happy you said something here. You said, thank you for this, thank you for that.
yeah,
A lot of people think prayer is asking,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
asking for
No,
things.
no, no.
And it's very powerful, and God hears, and prayers are answered I would say I don't want to use the word faster, but for the lack of a better word, I'm just going to say faster when you actually are grateful
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
things that you have. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And once you're grateful, like I'm sure like you have moments when you're driving, you just get hit with this power and you're just like, I'm just so grateful for my family. I'm just so grateful for this moment. I'm grateful that I have this position.
Yeah.
There's something happens to your body. And there's a lot of
100%.
science and research and data backing this up that once you become more grateful, better things happen to you.
Yeah. Once you stop complaining in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more you complain about your
It's just,
problems
to get
become more and
worse.
more and more. It
Worse.
does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What got you to really understand these things from someone who's
Oh,
really sad and depressed? And
Shark Tank, the show Shark Tank.
amazing. Yeah,
I
I
watched it a
love
lot.
it.
I said, all these guys are successful.
They are.
How do I become one of these guys? And I just watched it over and over, and I would hear their ideas, and I'm like, I have ideas. I'm
Mhm.
gonna write these down. And then I remember one episode they said, read this book called Think and Grow Rich,
Mm-hmm.
and I read that book,
Mm-hmm.
and it changed my life.
Yes.
I bought the vision board. I wrote on it. I looked at it every single day. I would update it. I'd cross that out. I did that. And the only one that I haven't conquered yet is lose weight. And that's been a struggle with me like crazy.
Really?
It's just so hard because I travel so much and I'm eating bad food, all this bad food. Because it's like when like tonight, like I'm going to do a show. I'm going to drive home around 12 o'clock at night. Everything's closed. What's open?
Yeah, and you're gonna be
Fast food.
hungry.
Starving. And that's why I eat fast food all the time. I've actually been intermittent fasting lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say fasting's really great.
Yeah, I've been doing that right now. So I'm hoping I lose 50 pounds by October. That's my goal. But we'll see. I don't
Is
know.
it for weight purposes or health purposes?
Both? Both. I wanna part of performing is feeling good. If you don't feel good, if you don't look good, you don't feel good, you feel insecure, you're gonna have a bad set. I think that with anybody, you know. So lately, I've been like, I want to be able to go to the mall and buy something that I actually want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not able to do that right now. I'm a large guy. I'm wide, you know.
And you're tall.
I'm tall. I'm wide. So it's like, and a lot of big people can agree with me on this. We don't shop for things we want. We shop for whatever fits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is Kirkland. This is Costco. You know what I'm saying? I want to shop.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Costco.
I want a Zara. I want
I get what you
H&M.
mean. Yeah, yeah.
I can't.
You want the Banana Republic stuff.
I can't even get Banana Republic.
So what's keeping you from doing
the weight loss? I think they don't carry my size.
Mm.
And I think that's a lot of things where people aren't happier about. It's about the way they look. That's why people get plastic surgery, boob job, everything like
yes.
this. That's another thing too. I learned too. Love yourself. Love yourself. I love myself, but I love myself. I tell my kids, I tell my wife she's perfect. I tell everyone.
Aww, that's
beautiful. I just feel like, yeah, that's me.
Since we're on this topic, I want to ask you a question. But before we dive into that question, something I posted a few days ago, and I heard, Jordan Peterson?
No.
So he's a clinical psychologist, and he was on an interview, like a podcast like this, and the podcast host was asking him, lately, he's like, I've been walking around. He's not from here, by the way, the host.
Okay.
He's from I think East Coast, I think Maine, was it? I don't remember. But he's like, I've noticed in LA, lots of people are in their pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
People be going to the grocery stores, the mall, just, nail places, hair restaurants, and they're in their pajamas. Have you noticed that people have lost their way of how to look?
People just don't care no more.
Yeah, because that's why I'm adding to that. Like, people don't care anymore. But what's going on?
COVID.
You think COVID?
COVID changed everything.
I think it was way before. COVID just exacerbated everything that was happening.
I just feel like people just stopped caring.
But isn't that an excuse that we're using, Jack? What do you think? I think we can blame it on everything.
Yeah.
But why are we letting society and COVID and all these things conquer and win? Why aren't we standing and saying okay, why would I leave the house with my pajamas? Let me just put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Let me brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Why are we doing that to ourselves?
I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of excuses. I don't know. I just think that's I think we just lost that old school mentality,
Do you think that the old school mentality kept us going?
I think it did.
Me too.
I think it did. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth,
Hmm.
you fix yourself. I like
Hmm.
I'm the same way. Like when I don't go downstairs until I make the bed, I brush my
Yeah,
teeth, I wash my face, and I look ready to go.
exactly.
I tell my kids all the time. I said, some of my kids
Exactly.
come down. I go. Well, did you make your bed? He goes, no. I said, go back upstairs. You're not eating.
Yeah,
Like I just think that little details like that. I think
that's right.
people just got lazy. I think I don't know.
People out here trying to change the world.
They could be anything. Everyone's high on marijuana and they just don't care. You feel lethargic. You're tired. I'm low. Just
But it's more in this state, though.
California.
Yeah, Los Angeles, LA. I mean, I haven't lived
Well,
anywhere else,
Well,
but
LA is
I'm
really
noticing it
very
more.
hippie. If you notice too, all the fashion to it, everything looks homeless.
But hippie used to be so beautiful.
No, hippie
Yes,
was
it
homeless.
wasn't. No,
Yeah,
I've seen. Well, maybe I'm confusing bohemian style with
yeah,
hippie. I'm
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
like 1960s, 70s hippie,
But yeah,
which was really cute with like the bell-bottom jeans, like flary tops. That's what
okay,
I'm
yeah,
looking at. Hippie, that's still stylish and presentable.
yeah, I
What I'm
guess
talking about is like women going to the grocery store with like a
with their
bun
curls.
and like this, or just disheveled. Like we look disheveled.
Yeah, yeah,
It's heartbreaking. And like our names are out there.
yeah. Maybe these
USA, the fattest country in
maybe
the world.
I mean, it could be a million things. You could say like, oh, her husband's insecure and he doesn't want her fixed up out in public. It could be that. I don't know. It's just
There's so many factors, absolutely.
yeah. I don't know.
But just when I hear stories like your story,
or maybe people are sad. Everyone's just sad.
but
and
you were
depressed.
sad.
Maybe all
You were sad
the
too.
pharmaceutical pills. Everyone's taking pills and
Yeah.
this that. There's so many things it could be.
There's so many things, but when I hear stories like your story, like you were in the most darkest place of your life,
Mhm.
but you worked on it, Jack. You didn't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Like something, even if it's like your wife, maybe your whatever it is, something clicked in your mind that I don't want to be here. You were not a victim.
Yeah.
Like you decided to stand up, take charge, and do something for yourself.
Yeah.
And you did. Look at how successful you are.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think people have it in them. Everybody has this resiliency.
I'm a victim. I'm this.
It's today's society.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Everybody's a victim. It's like, no, like wake
People
up.
are always complaining and
Shot.
it's not.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Yes.
happening to me. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like what's going on,
People
you
don't
guys?
take control.
No.
No, they don't. People don't take. You know what it is? People don't take responsibility.
But we normalize these
Yeah,
things.
Yeah, 100%.
We normalize everything. Let's normalize obesity.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
yeah.
Is that okay?
No.
Why should we normalize unhealthy living? Why do we have 300-pound women on Sports Illustrated magazines?
What
and
happened?
we think that it's okay.
Remember back in the 90s, dude, everyone, you had like, you would put a Sports Illustrated magazine. Like that was like my first love. The
Yeah.
Victoria's Secret magazine.
Yes.
Now everyone's
very
like,
healthy, attractive looking
Yeah,
women. I'm not talking
100%.
about the anorexic, but they took care of themselves. Sometimes you would even see back like they were working out.
yeah.
What are we normalizing? We're screwing
I
up
think
today's society.
I think it has to do with a lot of like you hear this like all this food, this processed food, all that stuff. That it's just I hear story like someone told my buddy Anthony told me yesterday. I go, aren't you Italian? He goes, yeah. I go, I have a question. How come Italians like aren't all fat?
And you guys eat so much spaghetti.
And spaghetti. Like if I go to Olive Garden and have
10
spaghetti,
times a day.
if I go to Olive Garden and have spaghetti, wine and cheese and that, I'm gonna feel like,
Because it's not spaghetti.
but it's not spaghetti. That's what I'm saying.
not
Like if you go
spaghetti,
to
God knows
Italy,
what you're
if you go to Italy and
Yeah.
you get breadsticks and real food,
Yes, 100%.
it has to do with it's the U.S. man.
It is the U.S. Our food is
There's
so
too many of
compromised.
us. There's too many of us, and I'm not trying to be on conspiracy, but that's maybe that
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. That's why I only eat Armenian food.
Yeah. Like the
Homemade
meats.
Armenian food. Khorovats.
He's looking at, he's
Whoa.
like, yum, yum.
Ara. Whoa. Dude, if I ever get hungry, I go to Ara's house. He's
Yeah.
always cooking.
He's always, I've got a deer. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I know.
The guy's like,
Dude, he kept sending me pictures of him like he went hunting recently.
that's amazing.
And
I'm so proud
and
of him.
he keeps sending me pictures of him. I got one. I go leave them alone. I go give them a bow and arrow. Make it a fair fight.
Oh my God. How's your friendship, by the way? Is it a good friendship?
With Ara?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's actually like it's very it's like it's a real friendship.
What do you think makes a good friend? since you've had shitty friends in the past, and I have too. I've had my share.
A good friend is someone that calls you and asks about you. You know, you ever have a friend that calls you, goes, "Hey, guess what happened to me?"
Yeah.
Like they're just always trying to like get a pat on the back, or I go when I call her, I check in on him, see how's his family doing, the kids, this that. Like it's like it goes back and forth. We never ask for anything from each other. Like the other day, I hit him up. I go, I'm going to the LAFC soccer game for Armenian Heritage Night.
Yeah.
And I go, do you want to come? And I bought 2 tickets for us. And it just goes like both ways like that. Like you want to go here, you want to go there, you want to get together, you want to have lunch. It's just I think that's a good for it's a healthy relationship.
Be honest. Did you call and say, "Hey, Edith called me for a podcast too"?
No, I actually told him today.
Really?
No, yeah, we talked today earlier, and he goes,
Is it okay if I go? Is it trustworthy?
He goes, "What are you doing today?" I go, remember that podcast you did with the little dark room?
What's up with everybody bullying my
I
dark
go,
room?
I wanna go. I'm gonna go to this podcast. He goes, oh, he said a lot of good things about you.
Thank you, Ara.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So what do we talk about next? There's so many topics.
Whatever you want.
What's it?
I'm
what
an
do you
open
think?
book.
You know what I wanted to ask? Actually, I'm glad it popped up in my. What makes a good comedian, other than bringing your life stories? Like, what skills does a comedian need to have?
A good comedian?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much. I have different style of. I have so many friends that are amazing, very talented. There's different styles. There's one-liner
What do you
comedians.
notice?
It's all about their delivery. It's all about it's like Mark Norman right now is one of my favorite comedians right now. He's so funny. Like I just
Can I Google him?
yeah, you Google
Mark what?
Mark Normand.
Normand?
Yeah, you know what comics I like? I like the comics that are like old school and they don't give a shit. I'm sorry.
This guy?
Yeah, I
No,
love
you're
him.
fine.
He's so funny.
I've seen him on Instagram.
He's hilarious.
Age
he has
40.
he has a Netflix special right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's
You're
very
gonna
good.
get one too.
I am gonna get one.
That's right.
100%. It's in the works already. Yeah. I actually just I sold 3 theaters out for the Netflix festival recently. I'm the first Armenian to be on that Netflix.
Do you have more of like Armenian crowd fans or other?
So that's in LA. It's so
Yeah.
funny in LA. Oxnard last night, it was like 75% Latino and 25% Armenian. But in Glendale, like it's always bro, it's Armenian like crazy. Ontario, it depends on where I'm at, When I go over out of town, like in Chicago, it was Assyrians, Armenians, and like white people.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends. But I do have a lot. I have to say I did really this past year. I really went into the Armenian stuff because I had so much. I didn't even. You know what's crazy? I've been doing comedy for 15 years. I never talked about being Armenian up until 2 years ago.
Why?
Because it was very. I was bullied. Like I said, it was a lot of like
trauma.
I was trauma. Like
Was it bad, Jack? Was the bullying bad?
Yeah, it was
like really bad.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean,
what would they do?
Like if they did what they did to me now at the schools now how they are all woke and all that.
Yeah,
it'd be a huge deal. But back then for me, you just let it go. I still it's not normal to call a kid beaner when you're like 10 years old.
Yeah, what does a kid do? How do you respond to something like that?
And it's like, and I go, Mom, what's a beaner? Like I don't know.
Oh,
so it's like it was bad, but like I said, it made.
Do you remember who it was?
There was
Call him out.
It was like a lot of people. It was so many. You. They call me Lobby, and I was playing basketball. That they were saying Kobe. That's a true story.
What?
Yeah, I was playing basketball and I'm making threes, and then they're like Lobby, and I'm like Kobe. But it made me the whole. I'm not mad about it. I've forgiven everybody.
Yeah.
Because it takes too much time to like dwell and just be like, oh.
How did you forgive?
Just
That's
forgive.
so hard.
Comedy. So that's what happened these past 2 years. I've been talking about what it's like being Armenian, what's it like being Mexican, and comparing the both, and talking about the school, how I went to P-Bus, and how girls were, how guys were, like how they are today. And it kind of like I wrote a whole hour of just Armenian content, and I've been posting it, and I've been very, very successful because I don't think anyone's ever done that. You know, everyone is very like. I opened a whole new world with Armenian comedy. You know, it's like I'm
Wow.
teaching people like what I'm doing with my stand up. I want to be like the Sebastian Maniscalco for Armenians. I want to be
Wow.
the Joe Coy for Armenians. You know how Joe Coy talks about Filipinos, Sebastian talks about Italians. I
Yes.
want to do that for Armenians. You know, I want to teach people. You know, because I get away with saying a lot of stuff. I say some really
Really?
I say some stuff.
Have you ever gotten trouble for those?
100%.
By
Armenians,
fans, Armenians?
highest on seas, Armenians.
What do they
They
say?
get so, oh my god, they get so
Really?
mad. They want to fight me and all that.
Are you serious?
They get all
In the show?
afterwards, but they're cool. Like, they like me now. You know, I make fun of them. I make fun of how highest on seas, or I talk about how growing up, I used to be afraid of highest on seas when I went to Hoover High School, and you
Yeah.
went to Burbank.
Mm-hmm.
When highest on seas were at school,
Mhm.
what would they carry? Never a backpack. They just had a folder, right?
Mhm.
And in that folder were cigarettes.
Yep.
Right? That's
In the
it.
little.
That was tough.
Fuck.
That was a tough guy.
Mhm.
Now, today, 2024, you go to the Americana, you see all these high-end men with purses. You know what
The
I'm saying?
cash flowing purses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I talk about stuff that like
yeah.
no one really wants to talk about, and I go dive into it.
Do you feel like people the comedians don't want to talk about it because of controversy and what it's going to do? Because you got some guts when
I make fun of Turkey. I make fun of them all the time. And I was in New York. And I never met a Turk
Really? I
in
had two
person.
Turkish women on the show.
So it's crazy. I never met one. And as a kid, when I went to Pilibos, all we learned was
They're bad.
1915, they're bad.
Mhm.
Protests, they took our lands, blah, blah, blah. So that's all I was in my head.
Yeah.
So I went to New York, and I do my first joke. I'm a half Armenian, half Mexican. I'll sell you a cell phone, but I'll steal it right afterwards. Right? And then this guy stands up. He goes, "I'm Turkish," and I went, "Oh fuck." I go, I don't know how to react to you. I've never met one before. And
Did you say that?
On stage? Yeah, everyone starts laughing, and I go,
I've never
and then
met one.
I go, "Can I touch you?" And then he goes, "Bro, you killed my ancestors." And he goes, "That was 100 years ago." I said, "You admit it." But
That's so funny.
but like that's how like like in LA, I feel like the Turkish people are like in the closet, they're hiding. But in New York, there's a lot of them. They're out. So it's just I just feel like I get away. I don't care. That's the problem. It's not a problem. It's good. I don't
Yeah.
care. I say whatever I want to say.
But then the issue here is that you're not saying anything that's not that it's real. It's what's happening. Like you're speaking on things that's happening.
Yeah, like during the Azeri Armenian War. Yeah, I was at a show in San Diego, and this guy goes, I go, "Hey, what are you?" He goes, "I don't want to say it." I said, "Gay?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "Azerbaijan." I go, "What?" And I got triggered. I go, "What'd you say?" He goes, Azeri.
Oh.
I go, "Come here." I said, "Stand up. Give me your chair. Give it to an Armenian." And I was just joking with him, and I brought him on stage, and it's actually on my Instagram. It went viral. I made the Azeri sing the Armenian national anthem.
Stop where?
It's on my page. I'll show it to you.
Yes, I want to see that later.
I'll show it to you later. Yeah, but it's so funny because he goes, "I don't know." I said, "Well, you're gonna fucking learn it."
And he was cool with it.
Totally cool with it.
I mean, he's in a comedy show.
He's in a comedy show, but it's a long story short. I ended up getting more information from him. He actually married an Armenian.
Yes, there's a
so
lot.
it's like, yeah.
There's a lot.
So it's just crazy. Like I said, I don't hate Turkish people. I don't hate Azeri people.
Yeah.
It's the government we don't like. They're the ones.
Yeah, the land and people really have nothing to do with it. I think people are just brainwashed. And it's unfortunate. Like,
yeah, and people actually think like there's because I had to block the Azeri and Turkish flag off of my page because they would just flood it like robots.
Yes,
those bots,
and it's dangerous too.
Yeah.
They, like steal your page or something.
All right.
There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, my original page was hacked during the war.
Oh wow.
So I had to recreate. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
Anywho, so your show today.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. We didn't, for everybody watching.
So I have shows every night. I perform at least 6 days a week. I have to.
How is that tiring?
It's exhausting, but I need it. It's my reps, and I just talk about what's going on. Like this Sunday, I'm going to Vegas. I'm opening up for Fluffy in an arena. This is gonna be my third time doing it.
That is
Yeah,
amazing.
Gabriel Iglesias. Thank you. I'm opening for
Really?
yeah. I'm in Vegas. We're doing the Cosmopolitan, the theater arena. He's there all weekend, and he's gonna let me work with him on Sunday. So I'm excited.
Wow.
I leave for Vegas tomorrow
So,
morning.
so you being in this place, which it takes a long time for somebody to be this successful
Yeah.
level. How are you so easygoing? And when someone says, "Hey, Jack, I would love to have you on my show," and you're just easily like, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah.
How do you find space to be that?
I remember when I was nobody.
So
Yeah.
is that what you think? Is that why you
No,
came today?
No.
So you're doing me a favor?
No, no,
Is that
no,
what
no.
it is?
No, I remember when I was nobody and nobody wanted
I'll
me.
be the
No, no,
worst
no, no.
comedian because
No,
you.
I remember. No, I remember when I was nobody and nobody wanted me.
Am I nobody?
No, you're not listening. I remember when I was nobody and
Yeah.
nobody wanted me.
Yeah,
No one
it's-
wanted to book me. No one wanted this.
Absolutely.
And like I also said, if I were to ever be successful, when people direct message me, I answer to everybody.
Yes, I'm the same.
It might take forever,
Yeah.
but I'll get to you.
Yeah, I
People
respect
email me,
that.
and I feel like why? Like when one thing I never understood. I'm not gonna say who, but I've worked with comedians sometimes, and I go, "Hey, are you gonna go do the meet and greet after the show?" And he goes, "Nah, I'm all right." And I go, "But these people paid money to come see you."
Yeah.
So after all my shows, I'll spend an hour after the show to take a picture or hug or this.
Yes, respect
yeah.
your guests.
Some people, I remember like last night in Oxnard, she goes, "Oh my God, my daughter loves you, but she's not old enough to be here." And I said, "Give me your phone, FaceTime her." I go, "Hello, hey, what's up?" I said, said,
Wow.
you know why? Because these moments, it can never happen. You don't ever know. My career could, it just never, you never know. Like,
Yeah, you didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I don't want to say
that.
that. Yeah, it's just like,
your career is going to be amazing.
I just can't believe like people like, we work so hard for this and then we don't want to give back, Like I love, like when we did the Alex Theater, man, I went out there and I took pictures of everybody, 1,400 people. It was crazy. I was like, started pulling, I took so many pictures. But I love the fans. I love, and I don't even call them fans. I call them friends. I support businesses. I raised so much money for Armenia and Artsakh and Hike for Our Heroes and all this, AGBU, all of them. There's so many organizations. I've donated my time. I've donated money. I've raised over. I'm not even making this number up. Over $200,000 at least, and this is just in the past 2 years. I do shows. I raise money for Pilibos, Ferayan, all these schools, man, and it's all about giving back.
Why do you believe in that?
Because I feel like it's my duty, one as a parent, as an Armenian, as a father, as just to lead by example and to show your kids, like, hey, I'm not just a comedian. I'm helping these people. Like I'm just. That's it. I just like when you hit me up, I was a no-brainer. I said, of course. I'm not getting paid to do this. I just came here at my own time.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's free.
And it's not, but it's not. I'm just proving the point. Like,
yeah.
When people ask, there's a reason why you hit me up, right?
Of course.
Imagine there wasn't a reason. I would be by myself. Like, like anyone asks me to do the problem, I'm there, man. I'm there. If I can make it, I'll be there.
What do you think makes a good person?
Not being selfish. I feel like love,
Love for yourself or other people?
and then together, both.
What's more important, you think?
To love yourself first.
Why do you think that is?
You need to love yourself first before you can love anyone else. I tell that to women all the time, to my guy friends all the time.
Yeah.
If you're awful to yourself, how are you gonna be this other person? Yeah, I tell my kids that all the time. And two of the kids aren't even my biological kids; they're my stepkids, and I love these kids so much. So I just feel like one thing I wish they would call me dad. They don't call me dad; they call me Jack. I get it. I'm not dad, but
yeah,
that's probably it's hard sometimes.
But that's so meaningful that you desire that from them.
Yeah, it's like like it's like calling your coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about a partner? Like what type of a partner are you?
I'm I wouldn't be anything without my partner right now. So she was always the one. She broke up with me the first time.
Really?
Yeah. She broke up with me the first time, and then it was like, and I was confused. I didn't know why. I was like, I'm doing everything right now. I'm working at the mall. I'm selling all these cell
Mhm.
phones, blah, blah, blah. And then I was paying all the bills. I was 23 years old. I was doing really good, and then we broke up. And then 9 years later, she came back, and it's just crazy. Like, she's always been the one. Even my mom loves her so much.
That's
And I brought
wonderful.
a lot of girls over. My mom pays all of them.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Jack, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a long time in referencing comedy. Um, is it true that many, and we kind of covered it in the beginning, but is it true that many comedians, majority of them, do struggle with depression?
Yeah. 100%. It's
What
it's
is this, though?
it's
Why do you think people in this state use
uh,
comedy to overcome or to heal themselves? As you said, it's therapy.
it's therapy. Like I said, like, it's I think a lot of comedians are depressed. We're out there chasing this
Hmm.
invisible, like, there's this invisible, like, trophy we're trying to get to somewhere,
What do you
right?
think that is? What trophy? What? Tell me about that trophy. Is it
I just figured it out,
a
like,
different
recently.
version of
I
yourself,
just
or
figured it out recently. Like,
yeah?
I finally accepted it. I'm never gonna make it there. I'm never gonna be happy because I always want more. That's what it is. Before, it's like, I want to get there and I'll be happy,
Hmm.
but you never get there, ever.
Do you think that
Your
you
your
can be
priorities change.
content?
Your priorities change. Your goals change. You're always evolving. So I finally accepted that I'm never gonna get there because I'll always want more. Like, I thought buying a house would make me happy. I bought a house. I thought buying a second house would make me happy. I bought a second house. But now I want another house. And I want 5 houses. Before I go to the next world, I want to have a house for all my kids before they leave. Will that make me happy? I don't know. But what if I get those 5 houses next year? It's just like saying, it's a constant grind. I sold out. I remember when I was telling my wife this. I remember I would sell out one show a month and I'd be so happy.
Hmm.
I'm selling out shows almost like 3, 4 a week, right? But I'm still not happy. I still want more.
What do
I
you
want
think
to
that
grow.
happiness is?
Well, you know what makes me happy?
Yeah.
When I'm at home with my kids and looking them enjoy stuff. I got this, I got that. Like, my wife would be like, Tristan needs braces. I go, put it in the cart. I'll add a show. Oh, we need this. I want to go to Hawaii. Let's go to Hawaii. All of us. Let's go. Let's go. I'll add a show. I love being able to do that for them, you know? That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me happy. Am I tired? Yeah. Am I exhausted? Always. But I feel like any good father or any good worker is always going to be exhausted. I probably get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night because I'm always thinking, I'm always creating,
Hmm.
I'm always writing. Right now I'm trying to dabble in the acting side so I can stay local, so I don't have to travel that much. I can film a TV show or a movie in LA and be with my family.
Hmm.
So I feel like a lot of comics are depressed because they're chasing something you're never gonna get. You know, a lot
Is
of
that all people, you think? All
uh,
people who report, symptoms of depression or are diagnosed
man,
with depression, do you think, from your perspective, it's all because of this chase, like just never really being content with what they
yeah,
have?
like you gotta like all these famous people always say, oh, like, it's not about the destination, it's the
Yeah.
journey, or it's not about
Hmm.
the what is it? Yeah, it's the
I get what
journey.
you mean.
The journey. That's the whole thing.
What if you just
Like, think
stop
about
for a
this.
minute, though?
3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2020,
Mm-hmm.
I had we had no shows. All comedians were depressed. I was performing in front of a laptop for people from home on Instagram. I wasn't
Yeah.
making any money, and I really thought, oh my god, if this continues or this happens forever, comedy's done. What am I gonna do? So I sold gold and silver. I sold cars. I was a salesman, and I did good to provide for my family.
Yeah.
But then, did it make me happy? No. Then God comedy came back, and I feel like people appreciate entertainment a lot more now because we were stuck at home. You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are depressed because they like they think that this is gonna make them happy. This is gonna make them happy.
Yeah.
It's not.
You know who I think woke this up? Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring him up when you said depression
Yeah,
and comedy. You
yeah,
know
yeah.
what?
I think he genuinely brought this up because his suicide was just shock to the world. Like, what?
Yeah.
This guy is like the happiest. You did you know he was? I didn't know.
No, but I heard he was diagnosed with something.
I mean, he was taking medications and stuff, but
But
that's
he
after.
was diagnosed with something. I think something awful. I don't know what it was. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I didn't know.
I don't know either.
But I think his death really woke people up. Like, wow. Like,
But you got to think about comedy back then too. Back then they were using a lot of substances.
Mm-hmm.
They were always high. They were drunk, and unfortunately, that's how this game is. Imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I mean, I still drink. Like I've been dieting, but yesterday I had a few shots, and then I felt like today I felt awful.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like, there's all this nightlife. The nightlife, because when people go to a comedy show or when they go out, what do? You drink, you eat,
Mhm.
you know, you have fun, smoke hookah, this, that, da, da, da.
Yeah.
Imagine me, I'm doing that every night. It's not healthy, you know.
Is it hard to perform sober?
It's not hard, but what's hard is telling people no.
Tell me about
Jack,
that.
Oh, Matt, come here. You know, like, I want to buy you a shot. Come here. I go, no, I'm okay. Oh, you know, they get mad. Telling people no. It's like, I really don't want to.
Do you struggle with that now?
No, I mean, it's not that I feel bad. Like, they think I'm turning down their drink.
It's disrespectful.
You know, Armenians are too. They
Yeah.
get so mad.
Yeah.
So I usually, you know, I end up drinking sometimes with them, and it just gets too much.
What parts of yourself do you accept now that you couldn't accept maybe 10 years ago?
What do you mean?
So you know how we have like personality flaws?
Mhm.
Like there's parts of ourselves that we're working on and we're like, like I don't like this people-pleasing part.
Mhm.
What do you think you've worked on now that you can like fully accept that you didn't accept 10 years ago?
I used to be really insecure.
Yes.
Super insecure.
Really?
I was very jealous.
Jealous?
Like, I'd go through my wife's phone and this, that. Like, I
Really?
used to really like that. And then,
Why were you like that?
because I was
Talk to me.
insecure.
Because of your insecurities. Do you
Yeah.
think that's what it is?
Yeah. I
That
was
jealousy
like,
is
I'm
an
not good
insecurity?
enough.
Someone's gonna take her away.
Yeah.
Type of mentality.
As soon as I'm the shit. Why wouldn't you want to
Yeah.
use me?
Yeah.
I've been happier than ever.
I think that you said something so important that people really need to work on themselves because that insecurity just, oh my God.
It's the
puts you
worst.
it is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
It puts you in a really dark place in all aspects, not just relationship.
Mhm.
Look at, you walk in a room and you're in a wedding and, you feel a certain way. You go to a restaurant, like it just does something to you
Yeah, yeah.
negatively. I always say this to people, strive to be the most successful person. Don't be a plain person.
Yeah.
Be something. Because it does, like success does. I mean, you feel it on your skin. It's
Yeah.
done something to you. How good do you feel walking somewhere and people are like, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
Let me take a picture with you. Don't
Yeah.
you feel amazing?
Feels amazing. And I always stop and take pictures.
Yes,
always
as
do
you
it.
should. Absolutely.
You want to hear a funny story? So when I was speaking of that, when I was about to get an agent and a manager,
Yeah.
they're like, "Where do you want to meet?" I'm like, "Oh, let's meet at the Americana," just so they see that. Oh my God, like Jack Jr. That was funny.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, man. It feels so good. Like, it feels like the 25-year-old me, 25-year-old alcoholic drug addict Jack Jr. is like, whoa, you made it. You overcame all. And I had friends that passed away, because of drugs. So it's like, I did this for them too. I did this for them. My best friends, my old roommates,
Wow.
they passed away, and it really. My buddy It's crazy, man. He like saved my life, dude.
Did he?
I was supposed to go to Dubai, to do shows in Dubai, and I said, I really don't want to go to Dubai fiending for drugs and alcohol, so I'm gonna go sober. So I went sober for like 30 days, and then I went to Dubai. I came back, and when I came back, I told him, "Yo, let's freaking party! Come on, let's go!" Blah blah. And then my buddy Rico grabs me and he hugs me and he goes, "Jack, you're doing so good. You're sober. You're gonna be a star, kid. You're gonna be a star. Go home. Go home." He hugs me. They died that night
No,
from
overdose?
fentanyl and their cocaine. It's crazy. This was 2021.
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm so proud of myself, and I know that they have a lot to do with what's going on lately. Like it's crazy. Like my whole life changed. It just changed. You know, as soon as I started being true to myself and really putting the vision board and all these goals and this and that and surrounding myself with people that are winners, and I got rid of all the bad people. You know, I would go up to people like, "Hey man, how do you get a house? I want a house. How do you
Yeah,
do
the
this?"
winners, right?
Yeah.
I love how you had no ego.
Yeah.
You just straight up like ask questions. That's so
I
beautiful.
just literally go up to people
That's
like,
a lot of
I
courage
go-
for
I
a
go,
man to do that.
100%. I want a Porsche. What do I gotta do to get a Porsche? What do I gotta do this?
You're like a sponge. Give me the info.
Yeah. And I surrounded myself with these people, and like I'm talking about in 2021, I lived in an apartment in Glendale. I bought 2 homes in 3 years.
Wow.
And I'm gonna go for number 3 later this year. I'm investing. I'm learning. Everyone's like, "Why are you working so hard? You know, you just sold out. You just sold 3 shows out for Netflix a week ago. Why are you doing John on Friday in Glendale? Why are you gonna go to, like, why are you?" I go, "Why not? You think I'm happy with where I'm at right now?"
I was just gonna say, do you think it's that chase that you were talking
100%. Tomorrow's just another show.
What happens if you are still?
I can't be still.
Why?
That's funny. When because my wife's like, we'll be like watching TV, and if the Netflix tells me, "Are you still watching?" I go, "I'm fucking lazy as fuck. I'm so lazy right now."
I know, right?
"Are you still watching?"
Yeah, how does it detect that?
When I read that, when that thing comes
Yes.
up, I go, "You know how much money I wasted right now? How much time I could have been on a call? I could have been this. I could have been up to my website. I could have been replying emails. I could have been doing this, but that. I could have been spending time with my kids. I could have been doing something else." I give myself a goal every day. I need to sell this many tickets per day. You know,
But what does happen to you when you are still?
I'm never still. This is as still up as I can get.
Like this?
That's it. I'm literally always working.
Do you think that's healthy, Jack?
Healthy? No, I honestly don't think. I forgot how it is to be lazy.
Mm.
I always like earlier today, I was working. I was writing jokes. I spent on my kid, and then I wanted some me time, so I went outside and I shot basketball for like 15 minutes. That was my still.
Basketball.
True basketball. I have a basketball.
Even
hoop.
it's so active.
Active.
I'm
yeah.
talking about like just doing nothing.
I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Doing nothing. I'll take a nap. That's my nothing.
Sometimes doing nothing is doing something, they say.
Yeah. Even when I take a nap, I have my dog and I pet my dog.
Why do you look like that?
I'm thinking about it. I don't stay still.
You're just like,
What?
oh.
Oh shit.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow. So depression, then comedians, that's a way of coping, basically. It's like a coping mechanism, like a defense mechanism. Let me laugh, let me smile. You know, a comedian told me that he's into comedy and he has created this vision of himself, but he wants to be the guy on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's and it was kind of interesting to hear that. He's like, you know, the guy on stage is not me. I naturally want to be the guy on stage. And that's what the sadness is
I
about.
know what you're talking about.
Which is really interesting. It's
yeah.
like, wow.
I'm the same way.
Really?
Like on stage, off stage, I'm the same person.
Oh, okay. So you are the same. I thought you said I'm the same way.
No,
Like
no,
you're
no.
a different person.
No. I feel like a comedian is always on. I'm always on.
Yeah.
I
Like
never
you're the
I
same
never
person. And
turn it off. Because you're pretending to be someone else that you're not. It's like, hey, I want to go. Oh, I'll be back. I'm gonna go be a comedian real quick. You're not being
comedian or happy.
be a comedian. You gotta be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that takes time with practice. You know, I mean, I remember when I first started, like I was pretending to be a comedian. You know,
But you feel like naturally you have that skill though. You have that muscle.
well, now I do. I mean, when I first started, I was like, I used to like one of my first jokes I wrote was I go, oh, see, it doesn't even sound like me. Hey, so I was dating this girl, and her house was nasty. She had like pizza boxes everywhere. Her floor was dirty, but then she was kind of bougie. Like she'd be like, oh, before you come in, please take off your shoes. I'm like, do you want me to clean your floor with my socks? That is, see how silly it is. It's a joke, but it's not me.
Yeah.
It's something I wrote, but it's not my personality. But you saw how I was talking, like, oh,
yeah. I
so
see
like,
what you mean.
You know, like now I'll talk like, oh, I not the way I talk now is like, my son has a stepdad, and I love my son's stepdad. He's cool. Like the other day, I went to go see my son's soccer game, and when I went up to my son's soccer game, my son's like, "Daddy, come meet my coach." I'm like, "All right." So I walked over there. As soon as I walked up, Oscar walked up, and then my son grabs my hand, and Oscar goes, "Coach, these are my dad's." But see, that's more true story. It's
but that's
natural.
so cute.
Yeah.
Did this really happen?
That really happened, yeah.
How old's the kid?
Well, this is when he was like 6.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
These are my dad's.
But
how did you feel in that
I was
moment?
like, whoa, I was like, I'm not gay. Bubalik chisinem. But yeah, it just.
Let me process what you just said. Oh my god! He looks back. He's like, what?
Applause break.
You know, I have a very loud laugh and I'm trying to contain myself.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But yeah,
These are my dads.
These are my dads.
Did you say that too on stage?
Yeah.
The second part?
100%.
You would have flipped. That's like an innocent, cute joke. But
Yeah.
it's not that rated R-ish.
No, but it's like, it's personal. Like I talk
Yeah,
about,
but it's funny.
Yeah.
I think anybody would probably like, I mean, you cracked me up, even though I'm not showing like my genuine laugh.
Yeah.
It's still cute.
Yeah, that's cute. Oh,
It's
cute.
cute.
That's a cute.
Jack, it's been an awesome conversation.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came because you're successful already, but you're gonna be more.
100%.
And then I can say, oh, he was on my show.
He was on my show.
No
I'm
brainer.
going to take this show to a higher level.
You are. You are.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I
Thank you for having
appreciate
me.
it.
Boom.